when can you know that you have to ask for help? Like the reason I ask this is when I opened these things to my mom while I was recovering from an ACL injury. um what I opened I opened to my mom because it's just I can't really hold it no more. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
there's 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 no such thing like what you know when to ask for help. But like for me, there's none of that sign or none of that feeling, but it's just full of burst of emotion that I really can't handle it. That's why I open up to my mom without hesitation, without you know having the thoughts of having maybe she'll treat me differently or do something. But how for you, how did you know that it's time for ask for help?
I know I'm gonna hurt myself. A lot of times I don't even
Mm,
know that I need help. My wife and I have become so much on the same page that she will call me out and she'll be like, "Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you?
true.
What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck is wrong with me? Well, you're acting this way." And then I'm like, "Well, am I real? Wait a minute here. Fuck, I am. Okay, you're right. Hold on. That's the thing I think with a partner, especially too, is you if you're open and you have that true communication and validation, knowing that your partner truly loves you, has your back, you have that foundation. Your partner can help you more than you ever could imagine because they're the ones that are going to call you out. And yeah, you might even have your fucking when they call you out. Sometimes you might put your fist up and be ready to fucking go at it. But you have to then realize that, hey, my partner does love me. They're doing this in the best interest. So what are they seeing that I'm not seeing? And my wife has caught me a few different times that I didn't realize that I was slipping. Like one time I hadn't taken, so I take Adderall for my ADHD. And if I don't take Adderall for about 5 days, it now gets to the point that I'm dependent on it. Like I'm honest about that. Like I'm not addicted to it because I forget to take it half the time and I don't abuse it like I did with cocaine. But I take 10 milligrams in the morning and 10 milligrams in the afternoon. And after about 5 days, I start to slip. I start to get depressed. I start to shut down. I start to not become the fun me anymore. And she really called me out the one time, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Like I know I don't feel right. And then all of a sudden, it was like, she was like, "Did you take your fucking meds today?" And I'm like, "No." She was like, "Well, when's the last time you took it?" I'm like, "I really don't know. A couple weeks ago." Oh fuck. Well, got to go get my meds refilled, and it was amazing. I get it back into my system, and then all of a sudden, 3 days later, I'm fucking back to me. But she was the one that caught that, not me, you know. And so I think your partner can help you in a lot of ways because we don't judge each other. We both know what depression is. We both know what anxiety is. Um, and if it gets bad enough for me, and I know that I'm just really isolated, I know I need to talk to people. It just becomes one of those things. And so I'll call up a friend and just start just venting.
True. And like I feel the same way. Like I'm so grateful to have a partner like that because sometimes just a couple of weeks ago, like my wife called me out from I think I I've sassy her a bit. Like I'm in a bad
Uh-huh.
mood and I said something that isn't nice, and she said, "What the fuck is your problem, bro?" Like exactly
Uh-huh.
those exact words, like "What the fuck is your problem?"
Uh-huh.
And when she said that, like I it feel like I stepped back a bit and said, "Yeah, what is my problem?" Know what I mean? Like I can't
Uh-huh.
sometimes like having those episode. I don't know if I can call it episode, but when you having those like um moments, you can't really uh you don't realize until someone called you out for it. Like
Mhm.
you can be like uh what do you call this, angry
Yeah.
for no fucking reason, and
Yep.
it's so it feels great in some sort that having that partner that will call you out, and having that moment of step back a bit and see, yeah, what is my problem? Because sometimes, like, you're right. Sometimes you'll put your fist up and said, I have, what's my fucking problem? What's your fucking problem? No,
Hmm.
that tension started quickly.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I think that's one of the reason. I think that's one of the most important part is try and step back a bit. I mean, that's for me.
Hmm.
It works.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Love it.
so when you decided to go to therapy, how's your experience like? Because not a lot of people have that sort of uh pleasant experience in some sort, and some people that I know don't like to take the medicine because sometimes this is, I think, the feeling of taking a medicine for them is like wearing a mask. It's like wearing a fake mask, a smile mask, and when it wears off, the mask fell off quickly as possible. I think that's one of the reasons why they don't like taking
S-
medicine. So for
So
you,
when it comes to meds, the way that I look at meds, if you were to go to war, would you want bullets? Yeah, you'd want bullets for your gun. Well, that's kind of like what meds are. It's a tool. It's a part of me going to war every single day. If I'm a carpenter and I want to build something, am I going to go to work without a hammer? No, I'm going to bring all my tools.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, I could probably make it work without a hammer, but a hammer makes it a hell of a lot fucking easier. I could go to war without bullets in my gun, but bullets are going to make it a hell of a lot fucking easier. So why not bring everything with me that makes life a hell of a lot fucking easier? I'm not a martyr. It's not poor me. Give me every fucking tool I can to make this life easier, and let's do it. You know what I mean? That's my mentality behind it. And with therapy, was being honest with my therapist. I therapy always failed me because I failed therapy. I was never
oh,
honest with my
so
therapist.
it's you. So you admit that, like, when people, or when you failed therapy, it's like blaming myself because I
Yeah, I
lied.
wasn't therapist. Yeah, I lied to the therapist. I sugarcoated. I didn't tell them everything. I wasn't honest with them. The only time that therapy ever worked for me is when I finally went back to therapist. I made a commitment to myself that I was going to go. I set up 5 therapy appointments, different therapist. I'm going to find a therapist who's going to go to work for me. Happened to be the first one I went to, actually. But I go, and I actually met this lady. And old me would have looked at this lady and went, I don't fucking like you. Because I didn't. I looked at this old lady. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to get from you?
Mm-hmm.
This is stupid. Nope. Promised myself I was going to be honest and open with the therapist, not lying, anything. So I sat down with her. Her name was Susan. I go, Susan, I don't know what's wrong with me. I know that something's not fucking right up here. I'm taking my meds and everything. And so I'm just going to fucking just start dumping to you. And I need your help to figure out what is wrong. And I just started sharing and I didn't hold back anything. I shared everything. When she asked me a question, I dug in and made sure I answered it right and honest because this was a commitment I told myself I would do. And after I got done with my first therapy appointment with her, I went, holy fuck. I was taking fucking notes, fucking journaling afterwards for weeks. And constantly started going back to her, just finding out what is wrong. This is where I really dug into all of a sudden realizing that every therapist I've ever been to, I've lied. How are you doing today? Oh, I'm okay. I'm good. No, I'm doing good today. Yesterday was fucked. The day before that was fucked. The day before that was good. Well, what made the other day fucked? Well, this is what made it fucked. Well, how did you feel about this? Well, I was pretty fucking angry. Well, why didn't you correct it? I don't know. Shit, why didn't I correct that? What could you do next time to help correct that? I don't know. What should I do? Well, hey, I tell you what, next time you feel that way, here's an app that's a little bell. Next time that you feel that something's fucked up and you're very angry about it, instead of just knee jerk reaction, hit this bell. It gives it 5 second ring. And then at the end of the 5 second ring, respond. Try this next time. You know what, Susan? I like that fucking tool. I'm going to try that next time. That's how therapy should be. But instead, we just sit there and vent. And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes I've sat with my therapist and just said, hey, today I need to just fucking unload. I need to just dump. I don't even need solutions. I just need to get it out. But then there's some days I sit down and I go, I need solutions and I need help. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we're not even taught how to go to our therapist to get the most out of our therapist.
Dude, that's powerful. Like, when when I hear stories about those like their therapy experience, and I never it never came to my mind that it's it's gonna be you. It's gonna it's it to you to embrace all of this stuff. It must come to you first, because you can go to as much as many therapists as you want, but if you don't really embrace it, or you don't really, you know, uh be truthful to your therapist, oh, that's a dangerous spot, my amigo.
Oh yeah, no, and then you just build this core belief that therapy doesn't work. I watch people
Mm-hmm.
talk about, oh, what if my therapist sends me to a psych ward? If your therapist sends you to a psych ward, there's probably a good fucking reason behind it.
True.
Therapists don't want the extra paperwork. So they're gonna really try their best not to send you to a fucking psych ward. But if they send you, odds are something's fucked up. So be honest. I mean, be honest. My therapist told me, well, if you have a suicide plans and stuff like that, I'll send you a therapist. Well, I have a suicide plan. If I was to commit suicide, I'm going to a fucking gun range. I'm going to get a fucking 9 millimeter, whatever. I'm going to sit at the end of the fucking gun range on the end of the thing and I'll blow my fucking brains out. Doesn't mean that I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean that this is a plan that I'm obsessing about. It's such a knee jerk reaction to me because I laugh about it now and I keep it right there so that I know that it's there. So if I start getting closer to it, fuck, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. We need to go talk to people. But that's what people don't get. Like they don't get that honesty and openness, and that's where you have to look inside and go, okay, everything in this world I am partially a part of. That I've played some role. It took me a long time. I've been divorced a few times. And at first I was always the victim. None of these divorces were my fault. I didn't do anything fucking wrong. I'm the victim here. Then I really learned to know. Let's sit back and go. What was my parts of these? Fuck, man. I had a lot, dude. How many people have I fucking caused trauma to? How many? Like I have to own this. That is, it's not for us. We're not the main characters of this movie. We are. And you know what? No matter what, I am somewhat responsible because I was fucking there and I have to own that and that's okay. You know what I mean? We want to push the blame and not take any ownership of anything and I think that's really really sad.
You can catch the entire episode exclusively on YouTube. It's youtube.com at The Nick Barellano Show. It's youtube.com at The Nick Barellano Show.